Because we have celebrities every year in
Every
WrestleMania.
year.
And every year, there are so many wrestling fans that are angry and annoyed of why is this celebrity here and taking this spot from this wrestler who has, busted their ass all year to get in. And every year, we always talk about, well, the reason is WrestleMania is the Super Bowl. So you bring the non-wrestling fans in. So you find ways to add to that audience. So I am not against celebrities being on the show.
Neither me.
I am not against Jelly Roll doing stuff because he understands the storyline. Now, hear me out. Let me finish all this before people start getting upset. I am not against Pat McAfee for being on the show. I'm not against Little Yachty because, honestly, I enjoyed him as Trick Williams' hype man on SmackDown. That was one of the only things that I enjoyed about this past SmackDown.
He's collateral damage for me, but yes, not bad.
I'm not an iShow Speed guy, but I understand the reason for him being there.
The young guys.
Young kids, YouTubers, etc. What is negative about all this is every single celebrity that I just mentioned is involved with title matches. That's an issue. The issue of the fact that you have to have these other celebrities come in and insert themselves around champions. Not necessarily they're getting the title shots, but they're hanging around, oh, I'm going to help this guy retain or help this person win the title or whatever the case may be, which then just makes whoever they're hanging around with that much weaker, because then it makes, oh, here's this guy who is not a wrestler, but they're going to be able to help this trained wrestler win. Well, then if you train that guy for a month, he should be able to beat him, right? If he's that good to help him. That is the negative impact with all these celebrities. Now we throw the whole issue of McAfee being the secret guy on the phone, him reminding Randy Orton that there's more than one royal family, because somehow Pat McAfee is the guy that can get through to Randy
he
Orton.
has a royal family.
And he has a royal family. Pat McAfee put shades on and decided to be a heel. And again, I'm not blaming him. I'm blaming, like you, Ari Emanuel and TKO. Because here's a guy who, when he's at WWE, he's loved. He's Michael Cole's BFF. He cracks jokes. He hops on the announce table, going nuts for all the baby faces. He constantly had baby faces on his show. Would make fun of Hulk Hogan or other people on his show. Got the crowd enjoyment out of it. Even came back over to last year with one more wrestling match with Gunther as the sympathetic babyface, where Gunther showed him respect. And then, poof. Heel, kicking Cody Rhodes in the balls. And then attempting to cut a very long promo that Cody continues to keep getting up for, so Randy Orton has to keep stomping him.
Get him, Randy.
Right, to get the point across. And telling McAfee, I should say, to make a line about, hey, we don't need to watch guys that are 5'5" go 45 minutes. What does that have to do with anything that was happening on the program?
And just to interject here, and then talk about the Attitude Era. Pat McAfee, newsflash. Randy Orton didn't wrestle in the Attitude Era.
He did not. He wrestled in the Ruthless Aggression Era. Because
what the hell are we talking about?
Hey, what is the most popular age demographic that buys stuff?
18 to 39, right?
As far as buys stuff, wants merch.
Talking about the young men.
It's kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, kids. Sorry.
Yeah. Guess what?
Attitude Era is not about kids.
And the kids weren't even born during the Attitude Era. This is their Attitude Era.
We are the Attitude Era kids.
Right. But like two kids, this is like an attitude era where all of a sudden wrestlers are saying shit now.
Yeah.
Like that's attitude era to them. So, and his promo, it reminded me of this thing that happened last year during Saturday Night Live. Because we know Saturday Night Live, they always try to, kind of, step to the edge as far as, political comedy and all that. And they'll do jokes and the Trump administration or people involved. They tweet and get very angry at it. So there was a week where they were bashing it and were telling them not to do it. And then the following week, Saturday Night Live did it again. And then instead the tweets were, oh, that was really funny. I appreciate being imitated.
Right.
As in, hey, we're going to troll ourselves because then you're going to not bother us about it anymore.
Right.
And that's exactly what this promo was. It was, hey, we're acknowledging our low ticket sales and these numbers are low. So that we're acknowledging it, you're going to be like, hey, we shouldn't make fun of it anymore because now they know about it. So now let's go and buy stuff. No, we're not going to fall for that. So all that has happened. And then Cody Rhodes comes out and does the most PG type shoot promo that you could do. Because again, to your point and to something Cody said, yeah, I wrestled Cena and The Rock and Roman Reigns. Well, you know what? They also wrestled me. I was in that spot for a reason.
Right. I helped build this conglomerate that took place over the last 3 years,
right.
3-4 years. I was in the main event for that.
Yeah. So this just further proves that people are booing and angry at Triple H. People are booing when we're angry and celebrated Road Dogg getting fired.
Yep.
Or even whatever happened with Road Dogg. Guess what? It ain't either of their faults.
I don't think, I'm telling you, man, I think that people need to start realizing that Ari Emanuel or whatever flunkies he has that comes down there and has a conversation with Triple H while he's trying to build creative and trying to book out the show, that some monkey wrench gets thrown his way and he has to turn chicken shit into chicken.
Yeah. And there were reports today. I was annoyed that these reports came out today because I was going to bring them up during the show tonight.
Yeah.
Where I was going to say, this is clearly setting up Cody and Jelly Roll versus Orton and McAfee at Backlash.
100%.
Right. But now reports came out that that's the plan. I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of just spoiled all that.
I mean, once we saw that Jelly Roll was just in the ring just for no reason and got RKO'd, okay.
Right.
All right. Like,
which by the way, expect Jelly Roll to show up during this match when McAfee tries to interfere and get his hands on McAfee.
And you know the part that bothers me the most? What the fuck did we get Stephanie then for?
Oh. To remind everyone that she's in the Hall of Fame?
I just...
Why did we have... Well, I mean, this is kind of slightly off topic. Why do we have the Usos involved in the Punk Roman Reigns story when now they haven't touched it for the last couple of weeks?
Oh, let me do what Josh just did. I don't know. It's complete madness.
And so again, to what you said earlier, Cody, CM Punk, Triple H, they're doing their best to make chicken salad out of this.
Yeah.
And Punk did what Punk would do. Cody did the polite professional way about it. Punk did the Punk way about it.
Right. Punk said, and just let me handle it.
Yeah. Punk's like, I got that. I got you. Yeah. They even exchanged like tweets of, I think it was from the movie Tombstone, like of like cowboys from the movie, like kind of looking at each other and nodding. Like they tweeted that to each other earlier today. So it's like, all right, I got your back. You got mine. Here we go. Now I'm going to do my thing. And because you knew as soon as Punk walked out, Walking Purple was like,
Oh, you can tell.
Oh, he's bringing this up.
Yeah, you can tell he didn't have the belt on his shoulder. The belt was on. Like I was like, okay, he's gonna throw this in the ring, and
because it turned into the crowd started chanting OTC at the beginning.
Yeah,
and by the end of it, they were just like,
yep.
"Oh, no, we all love Punk."
Yep, because he brought what we were asking for.
Yep.
For this entire feud is that we got chick magnet Punk. We didn't get PG Punk. We got the real guy.
So I have one step further. If they continue to try to turn this into like a work shoot angle of them trying to rebel, say both Punk and Cody, say both of them retain at Mania,
which they should.
Which at this point they should. The Raw after Mania, they both quit and leave the titles in the ring and walk out. Now that would become like the shock and the stir and, oh, what's real, what's not. It'd be all for season 3 of Unreal, I'm sure.
Right.
But
now
that would be their way of trying to salvage,
recover,
what they're doing.
To
add like, oh my God, did we just lose both of our champions?
Right.
Because of what the top people that you don't see on TV are forcing everyone to do.
And have them off TV for a while and have tournaments for new champions and then they come back.
Right. So you can do something like that, but the fact of the matter is it all comes back around to why did we get in this position to begin with?
Greed.
100%.
Greed. That's all it is.
As of, I think, yesterday, night 2 of Mania, maybe half full, about 40,000. That stadium can hold probably over, I'm sure it held over 70 last year. Let me look up what the attendance was.
That is insane.
Attendance of WrestleMania 41.
Josh, they're not going to get any closer.
I know.
They made
night 2 was just over 63,000.
So they're
2/3 full.
Wow.
With under 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You're 2/3 full, and look at your night 1 and night 2 main events. On any other year, this place the WrestleMania would have been sold out within minutes.
And at this point, pending one more surprise match, your whole card is set now.
Yeah. So
everyone knows what to expect. And again, those numbers, 61, almost 61,500 on night 1, just over 63,000 for night 2 last year. You knew the bulk of the matches early on, and people bought the tickets well before we knew what the undercard was.
Yeah.
This year, now you know everything.
And you
got at least 4 celebrities. You can even technically count the Bellas in this because they're not necessarily full-time. And again, involved in a championship match.
In major matches. Right.
So if you count the Bellas as in the celebrity area, and some people might hate me for putting them in the celebrity area, at this point, they kind of are. Sorry. Now you have, and Cena hosting, no longer wrestling. There's 6.
Oh my goodness.
And those celebrities to bring the casual fan are not bringing the casual fan.
Nope.
So the idea of celebrities ain't working. And so what do? You double down on it and you keep pushing about it and you keep pushing about it and you keep pushing about it. How many clips do we have today on Raw about Pat McAfee? At least 3 segments.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 1 in ring and 1 backstage with iShow Speed. We had multiple on SmackDown with Little Yachty, who, by the way, I don't know if you saw his tweet over the weekend. Little Yachty was pissed that people are angry that he was involved. And he was talking about how, like, you don't understand. I've been watching this my whole life. And like, no, we get it. And I'm glad you're a fan.
He's
cool.
just collateral damage. That's all it is.
Right. And, but he's like, yeah, he's taking it as, hey, I belong here. No, well, no, you don't belong there. You know the stuff and appreciate the passion,
right,
and devotion. And again, I enjoyed his segment.
Yeah.
But adding him in addition to everybody is just beyond excessive, because you had, as Cody said on SmackDown, a 20-year story here with Randy and Cody. Not once has there been any mention of the last couple years where Randy stares at the WWE title when Cody's holding.
Not once.
Has not been brought up at all. Yet it was all plotted. The moment where Randy turned and sat in the chair with the blood on his shirt, it was like, we talked about on the show. We are sold. We're ready for this match. We're more into this match than Punk and Roman. Because of that one segment.
Right.
And Randy going nuts, listening to the voices and snapping.
Because all he wanted was the title. Right. So he goes from wanting the title to now I have to fix wrestling.
He goes, I wanted the title, but now I'm relying on Pat McAfee to convince me that I need the title to fix wrestling. I need to break Matt Cardona's wrist for whatever reason. I need to RKO Jelly Roll for whatever reason. And I don't need to build up all the history of me bringing Cody Rhodes into the business and then me taking him out. And that's where they lose us, because you had the story there. It's like you were telling the story. Pick a classic piece of literature. I don't care which one. Name one.
Classic piece of literature.
So that everyone read and most people tend to enjoy reading.
Harry Potter.
Okay, you're reading Harry Potter, and just as you turn to like chapter 8, it's Moby Dick. And then you're sitting there like, wait, is this the same book?
Right.
No, it's still the same cover. Let me go back a couple pages. Nope, we led up to Call Me Ishmael. I don't understand why I'm in this. But now, since I'm already this deep in the book, I have no choice but to ride it out and finish it.
Right.
And now I'm just going to be left with poor taste in my mouth and feel like I read 2 different stories with one of them unfinished.
Right.
And then I'll go and pick up the sequel that will have Jelly Roll and McAfee in a Iron Man match.
Right. I'm telling you, we are gearing up for a WrestleMania somewhere in the future where we are not going to get any wrestlers in the main event. It's going to be nothing but celebrities.
I mean, Kenny Omega said this in an interview a while back where he said, like, I wouldn't be surprised if one day it's like Isho Speed and Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
In a WrestleMania main event.
Or Logan Paul defending the title against some celebrity.
Against one of them.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, and again, I'm just randomly picking a guy. You got Carmelo Hayes, who's kicking ass for all year and
left
won't be on the show. And again, it's not the argument as far as guys left off because a celebrity has to get on. Again, we understand the concept of the celebrity. It's the abundance and how they're involved in title matches and the fact that you're making the stories center around the celebrities as opposed to the wrestlers who, by the way, hey, there's a celebrity that's hanging around me.
Yep. You asked me a question about in regards to, the biggest thing that's plaguing TKO, greed. I said greed.
Yeah.
But there's another one that might be bigger than greed. Because it's wrapped in its hubris.
Mm-hmm.
It's hubris. You have made so much money off the backs of these great wrestlers, the Bloodline story, Cody Rhodes' story, Cody losing the championship match, and then him having to fight his way back to get back to the main event picture and finishing the story, right? Everybody was it. People were in tears. People were happy. And you were like, oh, we can do whatever we want now. So you can be able to say, hey, look, it doesn't matter what we do at this point. They're going to be able to buy it because we're so hot right now. Not realizing you don't know how wrestling works, because the one thing about wrestling, more than any other sport or any other thing, is that there's no off season. Once WrestleMania is done, it's right back on the horse again to be able to build new stories, new storylines for the next WrestleMania, because you need to book a year out to start getting people interested in regards to how they're going to prepare to go to WrestleMania and who they want to see. When you go ahead and screw this up, where you think that you can be able to tell Triple H, that's been in wrestling his whole life, he built NXT Black and Gold by himself, which was the hottest brand in the world.
Yep.
By himself. And Dusty and all everybody else, would not going to disrespect them.
Triple H, Dusty, Regal, Michaels.
Yeah.
Those
were the guys.
Big four.
Those were the guys, wrestlers that understood history and respected the business, built the hottest brand in the world. That's what I'm talking about, is that TKO, with their bullshit and hubris, think that they know more about wrestling than the people that are there. And it's sad, because just like I said in my little rant, if this happened a month ago, 2 months ago, say this happened at Elimination Chamber, all the fans are going to go ahead and revolt, right?
Yep.
And now WWE has to backpedal. They got to find a way to get out of this thing, right? They got to find a way to kind of take an off ramp. It's so late.
It's too late now. It's too late.
There is no off ramp. Yeah. So now fans are even more enraged, because it's not the fact that you're getting something that you don't want. That's one. But the fact that you now have to sit in it, and we can't do anything to change it like how we did last year or the year before that. That's the problem. Yep. That's why this is not going to end well. And if they do have that match planned for Backlash, bro, they better find a way to do something different. It's not going to sell. It's not going to sell.
It's going to main event and be in a cage.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. I feel bad.
Jelly Roll's going to do a 450.
I'm sure he's thin enough to be able to try something.
I mean, Jelly Roll's like my size now, which I don't know how I feel about that.
He's my size. It's crazy.
And again, I really want to reiterate, this is not a dig at Jelly Roll. This is not a dig at Pat McAfee. This is not a dig at iShowSpeed. It's not their fault that all of a sudden Ari Emanuel reached out to them with a large check and said, do this for me because I'll be entertained by it.
Right. Well, did you talk to Triple H? Oh, I don't need to talk to Triple H. I can give him whatever whatever I want to give him, and he'll make it work. That's all it is. It's the hubris. And when it fails, what's gonna end up happening is that that's why I love life sometimes, is that life humbles you. They're gonna realize, you know what? Maybe we need to just sit back and shut the F up and just let him do what he does, because he knows what he's doing. Yeah. Hopefully we get that.